Welcome to America's top secret, most mixtape, Operation Pineapple Express. This is Fleet Admiral Corey Hofstad, Miracle Baby, United States Navy. I'm going to tell you about how Pineapple Express went down in Afghanistan at the Kabul International Airport. I'm going to tell you what led up to it. I'm going to tell you the history of the people that involved. I'm going to tell you guys what we did, and I'm going to tell you guys what we plan to do in the future. This is the realest shit I ever said. I hope you catch my last mixtape, Royalty. Talked a little about my civilian life and left a message for everybody who was part of that. I'm out in the city in Seattle right now. I'm at home doing my thing. We went out, for a couple nights type of thing, real quickly, and it became a news thing. Thank you to all the news stations that covered it. ABC, Fox, Wall Street Journal, CNN, the New York Post, Task and Purpose, The Drive, militarytimes.com, everybody who posted all this kind of good stuff about us and our mission and everything. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how it happened. I just want to take a quick moment in silence while we give you the names of the people who died, which motivated us to go out there. A lot of these people were part of the 26th Marine Expeditionary Unit. They were sent out without my permission, and so when I came on, I was pretty hot about that. Marine Corps Lance Corporal David Espinoza, 20, of Rio Bravo, Texas. Marine Corps Sergeant Nicole Gee, 23, of Roseville, California. Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Darren Taylor Hoover, 31, of Utah. Army Staff Sergeant Ryan Knoss, 23, of Corryton, Tennessee. Marine Corps Corporal Hunter Lopez, 22, of Indio, California. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, 20, Jacksonville, Wyoming. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Dylan R. Morola, 20, of Rancho Cucamonga, California. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Kareem Nicow, 20, of Noro, California. Marine Corps Corporal Deegan William Taylor Page, 23, of Omaha. Marine Corps Sergeant John A. Rosero, 25, Lawrence, Massachusetts. Marine Corps Corporal Humberto Sanchez, 22, Logansport, Indiana. Marine Corps Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, 20, of Wentzville, Montana. Navy Corpsman Max Soviak, 22, of Berlin Heights, Ohio. These people went out there as specialists to try to make it happen the best they could at the airport. The thing is, they went out there, it seems like, without staff, and so they're trying to direct, people that might have not been for their country, might have not had the customs, and there could have been language barriers. They went out undermanned, and so Operation Pineapple Express was our express delivery of people who with the know-how to hold the post for them and make sure that we didn't have a Vietnam War type evacuation meltdown like it's happened before. Try to atone for that a little bit the best I could. That happened way before I was born, but I learned about that in college. Thank you to the Navy School and the Navy Postgraduate School, New York and California. So Operation Pineapple Express. I'm just gonna keep it real. What happened is the Bank of Nova Scotia. We're just gonna start it way back at the beginning. When the Twin Towers were built in New York City, the World Trade Center buildings, in the basement, there was the Bank of Nova Scotia Gold Vault, and it was hooked up to like a little line, a little rail line, and like it was like a big deep basement and like big deep vaults. And throughout the like the 80s and 90s, I don't know if anybody out there knows as much as some of us in the Navy do about like Nova Scotia and Bank of Nova Scotia and what they do. Um, Basically, what Scotiabank is a bank whose entire resume, the entire bank, the entire cash, the entire strategy, the entire holdings of the bank is in human prostitution and human trafficking. And so Scotia Bank agents and Nova Scotian cartel members, they're known for kidnapping kids and kidnapping women and using them as sex slaves, and basically like doing what they want with these people. It's sad to see. It's sad to see what goes in and out of that train. In New York City, they had a black train with like gold trim that said, like Nova Scotia on the side, and it had like red interior and like some blue interior, and basically they were just human trafficking people in and out of the World Trade Center. Nobody suspected a thing. Uh, until there was a daycare called World Kids Daycare that was started in the World Trade Center. And World Kids Daycare, they had really good advertising. They, visited different schools around the country, and John Hay Elementary was one of them. And so I got to meet those people, and because of my dad, what my dad was doing in the Navy, and like some of the stuff that I was doing, we got interested in those people, and like I started like, my dad was dealing with those people. The World Kids Daycare, it was a startup that even got sponsored by the World Bank, because people in, important people in like downtown, New York, Manhattan, like World Trade Center area, basically they needed a place that was like reliable to take their kids, and these people had like built like a little, almost like a little school in there, and they had musical equipment and different type of equipment and different kind of learning skills and different kind of teachers and specialists who came in for the kids to teach them different classes, and it was like revolutionary. World Kids Daycare, they're on the 76th floor, building 1. And so what had happened is, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. The Scotiabank basically like kidnapped like some of the kids who were at the daycare, like wandering on the building, or like just in the elevators, or like what have you, and like 2 of them went missing. And like one of them girl even came back with like a arm amputated, and like both of them had like crazy, it was a leg or something, and like they came back with like weird stories, like stuff you might not even believe, but like Scotiabank like will do it to you. And so basically there was a big legal fight, and basically when these guys at the bottom of the floor, everybody found out what they were doing. They were getting threatened legally, and like it was going to expose them and everything they do, and like the world leaders, like I'm even going to say, like these people sell kids and like to like grown, like polished political like leaders, and then like 20 years later this guy's got a wife and like some kids, and like nobody's going to say anything, because like even the kids, like they don't know what to say. Like their whole family is like from like their mom being bought. Like it's like crazy, like the type of stuff the Scotiabank is into. They've even been to like the Cuban Missile Crisis, and well, we'll get into the Cuban Missile Crisis here in a second. But like basically like they caused a lot of like the big like even the whole Cold War era stuff. Like everybody thinks we've been going after Russia the whole time. Is we've been like fighting like Nova Scotia and like French Foreign Legion, and that's it. And like that's what I'm gonna say is like basically these guys are horrible people and hella dirty. And like so what happened is like when these people like set up like the building, like for insurance purposes, the core of the World Trade Center, it's big and it's long and it's hollow. Like if you go down into the basement, like if you went down to the basement before the towers were blown up and you looked up, it's all you can see is just a big hollow space that goes like all the way up. And so it's like when you think about the core of the building, it's like an actual core. It's like an empty space where everything is like all the offices are set on the outside of the core. And so like what they did is they literally put contractors in there, and like they put charges like all the way up to the top of the building. They were like thermite charges, and they put them on the core. And like what they did is like they had planned, like if something happened, or like that somebody raided them, the FBI raided them, or like some kind of sting, because like all they had in that like vault was like humans and kids and like weird sex parties, and people would come in to like pay money just to get in the vault, like to see what's going on, and then like get whatever they wanted and shit, and then leave with like people, or like leave like after they had done some shit, or like they were even shipping people, and like people boxes, and like even like so, like my experiences with them. uh it was one time we went on a trip to New York City with my class in elementary school, in Miss Skeen's class in kindergarten at John Hay Elementary, and somehow we ended up on the train, like accidentally or like what have you, and like they basically tried to kidnap us, and like we had to like jump off and like you know what I'm saying, and like run, and it was like crazy. I posted like the story on like my GitHub somewhere. You can check it out at like github.com slash Emerald City IT, and then look for like the Scotiabank attacks in the World Trade. Just look up Scotiabank. Look for my repositories that say Scotiabank in them. You could find that there. Basically, we had to like escape, and like people, like it was an Indian family, like they got taken, and like the Indian girl was like gone for like a week, and her dad was like, when she came back, everything was all messed up, and they stopped going to the school because she was all depressed and messed up. It's like it like broke her down. It was like crazy and stuff. And so these guys didn't want like the world to find that out, and so they planted charges in the building. And what happened is they brought like a soda machine in, and it was the same brand, same make and model, same soda machine as they were using downstairs in the basement. They brought it up to the daycare, and they said, "Oh, here's a soda machine." And they kind of were like, "You don't really want to go to court with us, but we're going to give you a soda machine with discount soda. And we already talked to the building manager, and we could put it here, and like, we're going to sell you some soda. And like, you don't want to, you don't want us to kill you in court. Like, stay out of this, courtroom. Don't even come." And in the we found out like later, like through like bringing like the service dogs in for like the kids and stuff, like we're like as part of like the thing, the experiment we're doing to like show them new things. We brought in the service dog, and the service dog pointed straight up, and like, what I'm saying, it was in like the in the first 3 days the soda machine was there, and we tore it open, and we found out there's explosives in there, and they're ready to like blow, like their insurance like is like greasy as fuck. They're ready to blow everything up. And so, like I said, they use their soda machine brands and their soda machines and everything. And so, literally on some like just cause like we didn't know what else to do, and it was like I was a little kid when this like was going on. Like I was like, what I'm saying, elementary, middle school, when like the tower attack happened on 9/11. Like literally, like, what I'm saying, I just was part of my dad's teams and shit, and like offered whatever advice I could, and like they brought me in, like, so they said we need everybody, and I was working with the kids already, I had been and stuff, and since elementary school, what I'm saying, like I said. And so basically, what I'm saying, like we switched out the face plates from the ones downstairs to the one that are upstairs they put next to the kids' place, and we switched like the buttons, and we switched everything to make the soda right and everything, and we made it look like, what I'm saying, like we put the bombed out ones, they look like the ones that are like packed with explosives that they put up by the kids' daycare. We brought them down and put them in the basement, and then put the clean fresh one they were using and put it up by the kids' place and shit, and they didn't even know. So they were like watching the kids buy soda and shit, like, yeah, I'm gonna blow you up and shit, like just being fucked up, what I'm saying? Those questions are weird and shit. And like little they know, like them niggas is downstairs buying soda from like these fucking, what I'm saying, rigged boat soda machines and their shit. And so the court thing kept going on, and like, what I'm saying, like the people were like, bro, we're not going to court. And so they started calling people and saying, don't come to work, don't come to work, like something's gonna happen, stay out the building, like calling all their friends, stay out the building and stay out the building. And we got word of that, like the government, and because they're like all their friends and like all the Scotiabank's friends and all the people working in the building, they're warning them, don't go to work and shit. And so we knew something was gonna go down and shit. And so we prepared for everything, and like we was like there, we thought we prepared for everything. But honestly, we didn't prepare for everything and shit. And so like basically what had happened is we like went and got ready and did our to do our thing. And so when everybody talks about those firefighter like audio recordings to the firefighters being like, oh, there's explosions in the basement even before the planes hit, and all the conspiracies and stuff you see about 9/11, where were the explosions in the basement about, and like where were like why like the explosions happened before in the morning and before the buildings were evacuated, even before the planes hit. Like basically what happened is they went to when the kids showed up, and all the kids showed up, which they like, what I'm saying, without when the kids were showing up, but like however we did that, basically, what I'm saying, when the kids were supposed to show up, or we pulled up in the van and they timed it, or however they wanted to do that, what I'm saying, so the kids weren't involved. They blew that shit, and they blew up their own basement. And I swear to God, I swear on my life, I put it on my fucking SEAL career. I put it on like being in the VFA 14 top hatters and MIRICYL Baby. I put it on like the third fleet, the first fleet, the sixth, what I'm saying, like Impossible Mission Fleet, what I'm saying, like I'm like whatever you want me to put it on. And so um the seventh is the kingdom, what I'm saying? Like all I'm gonna say is like I put it on everything that I've ever done. That like basically like we switched their machines and they blew up their basement, and that's what happened. And so we're about to get into Osama bin Laden and like the real truth behind like some of these things that people like say, and some of the people things you see on the news, and like Osama bin Laden and the CIA, and why we went to Iraq and all this stuff. And I just wanted you to like just like think about like the stuff that I said, replay it if you got to, but like that's like what happened in the early mornings of like 9/11 before the planes even got hijacked. So Osama bin Laden, uh, he's well known in like Afghanistan, but primarily I'm just gonna say for the like time that I've known and like I've investigated him, yeah, he's lived in America, and his name is Zabihullah Salim. That's Zabihullahh. Then a space, of course, and then Salim, Salim, and he goes by Zabi. So he lives actually in Seattle, Washington. He lives in Shoreline. I can give you the address. 16003 Sunnyside Avenue North, Shoreline, Washington 98133. Basically, that's like the house that he paid for with the money that he got from Scotiabank, like when they contracted him and his people to like do like some kind of emergency procedure to like basically take out like the World Trade Center. And so, basically, there's another address you might be interested in. Is 16309 Densmore Avenue North, Shoreline, Washington 98133. 18828 Midvale Avenue North, Shoreline, Washington 98133. I'm just reading off some addresses. 20319 Meridian Avenue North, Shoreline, Washington 98133. Basically, you could find Jabi at his work. He works at ET Towing and A-Rose Towing at 1500 West Bertona Street in Seattle, Washington, 98119, and that's in the Inner Bay neighborhood. You can basically check this guy out. You can check him on Facebook, Zabihullah Salim. You can check wherever you want to check. It's the same person, and like people are protecting him, and like the CIA. And so like when you like know about the CIA, like I do, like working like for like the special forces in the military. So like when we do special forces intelligence, we have an order, and we're proudly going out and getting the best intelligence that we can to save our brothers from getting killed. When the CIA gets intelligence, they're trying to make the most money that they can off the US government for whatever they give them. And so like where we go in and get information to like find out where these people are at that we need, and how fast can I get them before I even like, if I report, like can I also get them, just take them out, like can I just be done, you know what I'm saying? And so basically like we go in and we find these people and we take care of them. Like the CIA basically will give you breadcrumbs, like they'll like tell you like this person will like be over here at this location, and then like your target, and you'll go there, but it'll be one of their people to meet you, and they'll be like, oh well, we just missed them, and so like here's your next like place you can go meet us, and they'll like charge you like millions to billions of dollars to like go to these 3 locations, and then they'll be like, well we lost them, oh here's some information on an apartment that I like that you pretty much looked up on the internet like months and months and months and months ago, you know what I'm saying? And like they just want to do as many hops and as many interactions and as many transactions as possible to get paid. And so Zabihullah Salim and Osama bin Laden is not their biggest priority, because if they like got him killed, they would lose all like the money that they could make by like providing intelligence on him for all the years that they did, and like for like Afghanistan and all this stuff. Like we just pulled out of Afghanistan. We've been there 20 years. Like CIA had like 20 years of like contract with like that whole thing, and they still didn't do anything for us. And so that's how I believe Zabihullah Salim is, surviving and, being protected as a CIA. He lives, in the Pinehurst area of Northgate at 11222 8th Avenue Northeast, Seattle, Washington 98125. That's the last known location. It's at an apartments by the old like party store, whatever that was called. You got to be careful though, because the entrance way to that place is on like the east side, over on like Roosevelt Way, northeast. But like on the like west side of his apartments, there's a big like tall like apartment complex called Cedarvale House and Village, and he has Boko Haram in there, and like they like work with him and his people and take directions from him and his people, and they got snipers on like the east side of Cedarvale House and Village, and so be careful. That's how they protect him in his entryway. Like all those people in the back will just come out there like their deck and pretty much lay it to you with like a rifle, and then that's it. And so that's his little protection grid, and then basically he's not shit really. Like fuck that guy. Like pretty much like if it wasn't like for those Seattle police like protecting him and like stopping me from like going after Boko Haram, man, those guys would be like ashes and dust to dust and stuff. But I'm working, with like the King County, courts and stuff to like get them to see like the right way, and like how to like work with the federal agent who's being aggressive to like to make their community safe. But like that'll be another mixtape hopefully. This is about Operation Pineapple Express, and basically the next thing is to say that when the towers got blown up by the basement, they were hella mad. They lost hella property, lost everything, and they were forced to evacuate. Like that was the first thing the fire department did. And so basically, I'm going to tell you a little about the New York Fire Department. I don't want anybody to get in trouble, but it's true, and this is my mixtape, and this is what I'm doing. Uh, a little bit about the New York Fire Department is they'll do anything to stop Nova Scotia from taking over our country, even if it means like acting like the military. The 1993 bombing of the World Trade Center by the van. Basically, that was after that field trip with Miss Gein's class in the John Hay Elementary and the little Indian girl, and that's how we had to make an entry into that building. Um, I was actually with Natalie, and we snuck into the back of the truck that they went to do it with this. With the it was actually the New York Army National Guard. It was those people who carried out that mission. They blew a hole into the safe, and we actually, when they evacuated it that time too. Like when you blow something up, they always evacuate. And so like just know that the fire department and the rangers and everybody that we could get in there to secure that place. We went in there and took every kid out of there we could find, every sex trafficking victim out of there we could find. Made it look like they were evacuating the building when all those people were coming out, but that was just the basement. People had already been evacuated for the most part. In that process, we took whatever gold they had. I'm not gonna lie, just because like fuck Nova Scotia, you know what I'm saying? Like we took your shit, you know what I'm saying? It's Corey Hofstad, you know what I'm saying? MIRICYL BABY, and I was on that shit. The little kid sneaking in the back, sneaking the missions. My dad told me to stay at home and stay at the hotel, stay at wherever, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? But I had to get it in, you know what I'm saying? This home is just in me, you know what I'm saying? I got ranked for it today though, so it's like I'm not even gonna complain, you know what I'm saying? And so on 9/11, they evacuated big time, big time. The explosion was so much more vicious because it was inside the building, and it was like the photo machines blew up, and like everybody had been like told there was a bomb threat, so everybody had been anticipating it, and it was big, like big time. Like the cops like and everybody came and like you know what I'm saying. We carried the gold out, and you know what I'm saying, in the fire trucks, you know what I'm saying, and like the big bags and like big bags, we like wheeled them out like on like dollies and shit, like you know what I'm saying, like whatever we had to do like to make it happen to where like we would like take all their shit, like their kids out first, and then like the gold and everything, and secure that shit, and we did that shit. And so we robbed the fuck out of them. And so like it is what it is. Like you're in our country, you know what I'm saying? Like fuck Nova Scotia. Like you're in our country, you got like kidnapping our kids and like doing weird shit in our country. Like you know what I'm saying? Like your gold is like ours now, and we had to pay for all the damage and shit that you've done to our reputation and shit, like some shit like that, or like whatever they had said. You know what I'm saying, back then, to like make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And so we did that, and man, they were pissed. Like the executives were pissed. Like as soon as they came back into the bank, they're like, "Where's all my family? Do you wouldn't let them leave or whatever." And like you know what I'm saying, it was like it's not your family pretty much, and they beat him down and like shot the dude or whatever. But like eventually they found out like somebody got a phone call and they like didn't get shot at enough to where like they can make their own phone calls, and like they contracted like their little New York people. And so back in like I don't know if you remember, but back in like the early '90s and the late '90s, like the some security like buildup of like people from like Islamic nations, or like I'm gonna say like Islam, like they are hiring security for straight out of like Asia and like all these places, like all these security people, and like maybe there was just Nova Scotia, but like you know what I'm saying, like they had a little buildup and like nobody noticed it, and we like you know what I'm saying, like thought they're hella respectful or something, like because we let them like you know what I'm saying, like pretty much run, like do some stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? The CIA backed them or whoever backed them. I don't know, or you know what I'm saying, who's protecting them or like what have you. But basically, uh, Osama bin Laden was his contractor, right? And so Osama bin Laden had like his people in Afghanistan, like the Taliban and all this like little homies and stuff who like do like trick shit and make explosives and like blow up shit and do weird shit. And so Osama bin Laden basically took the bid, for whatever he got, to do some kind of get back. And but there's been a software, it just came out now. It's called QC Super, and basically it's like advertised as like some basically like a software that's used to like read like Motorola devices and read like frequencies on like Motorola devices and get information on Motorola devices and like other Qualcomm and like other old phones and stuff. But in reality, QC Super is it's a terminal emulator for a software that Boeing uses to build the airplanes. Like so, like when the like in the Boeing lots and in the Boeing warehouses, when the mechanics want to like move like a wing or a flap or like like a rudder or like do anything like any electrical thing they want to fire on or turn on or move or check, they do it with like they have like this big blue box. It's like an emulator that they can control the plane from outside of the plane, and so it's like called the Q system. And so QC Super, what it is like somebody like took that and copied like a hard drive that's in that, and then they routed like the different ports and stuff to like of that into like your cell phone to where you can send it like the code like the ones and zeros or whatever like whatever code it needs to like function, you can send it through your cell phone. And so it's like you have like a PlayStation emulator on your phone. I play like like the PSC or PSX or I'm saying or EPSX. I play that. It's like, or you play like the video game emulators on your computer where you can play like Nintendo and stuff. It's just like that, but you can play like you can use like the Q system on your phone. And so they released that. It's like on GitHub and like all these other places, QC Super. And so before they released that on GitHub and made it public, it was like some cheap little shitty little like cell phone little hack thing that they had freshly gotten from these Q systems, and only like the terrorists had it. And so what they did on 9/11 is all the Boeings, they just started launching their QC Super. Like they would like hack cell phone towers, and all you have to do is hack a cell phone tower and put like a little remote like computer in there that's connected to like a directional antenna, which you can build like all that stuff for less than like $250 if you're like good at it. And you install it in a cell phone tower, you know what I'm saying? And you climb up there and put the directional antenna where nobody's gonna see it, and you like put the computer in there and use their power and everything, and nobody's ever gonna notice really. Especially if you put like you got like some cell phone service on it, or like what I'm saying, like a SIM in there or what have you, and nobody will ever find out. And you can basically network that with your phone that you're using to control like that cell phone tower, and basically you can like connect to airplanes. And so basically what was happening is people were using this QC Super, and what they were doing is they were scanning like near like airports. They're scanning people's like the planes that are coming in and landing, because this plane is computers. It broadcasts this BSSID to the tower to identify the plane, and like so the tower knows which plane it is and what schedule to assign it and where it's supposed to go and where it's supposed to taxi and everything. It's all pre-plotted out in the airplane systems, but they recognize each other by the BSSID. It's like the MAC, recognizes it by its MAC address. And so if you're in a cell phone tower that's hacked and you can read that MAC address, man, all you have to do is find that pilot or find one of the crew or find anybody who like works there who knows that, or can get like you like into the plane's Wi-Fi or what have you. And if you like force it out of them or social manipulate it out of them or pay them or beat them up or what have you and get that, then you can control that whole entire plane through the Q emulator, which you can send the codes through. So you can change wing flap, like adjustments. You can make the engine pitch itself. And so this is how like the Ethiopia Airlines and like all these different airlines that have been crashing that nobody knows why, these Boeing like 737 jets, and like the ones that are like, some of them are easier, like so some of them that are more technologically advanced, like the 737 that they just launched, they rely so much on computers that the Q system like runs the whole thing, because the Q system is like their computer software that they rely on. And so like they're more like easily exploitable. and so these QC super attacks have been like increasing. But like that's how they did it back in the 90s. Like people say like it's a conspiracy, like the planes didn't really hit the towers, or like it doesn't make sense because they found the people's like passports, and like they say like nothing makes sense. It's because like they were like remotely controlled, and like their stuff is not going to make sense unless you understand that like they were remotely controlled and it was almost like a drone strike, but it wasn't. And so they did that. They used their QC Super, and they had the people on the planes too. And they're like, well, we got QC Super control right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got control over your airplane. We'll pitch it right now, and you can't do anything. And then they would pitch it. You know what I'm saying? And just like make the pilots freak out. Like they don't even have control, and these people are like yelling, like, we got control of your airplane, and they're making it do it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're freaking out. And they got like box cutters and shit. The box cutter is not even scary when they're fucking with your controls and shit. Like I'm telling you, as a pilot, like as Miracle Baby on like the whole VFA 14, that shit is scary to think about. Like piloting for a bunch of people in your plane, and somebody's fucking with your controls with a box cutter at you. Like it's crazy, bro. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I would shoot at them, but like when you shoot at them, they're not might even be the one who's controlling it with the phone. Like dude with the phone, like, you know what I'm saying? Like those guys had it kind of planned out, and they did it like in an emergency situation for those people. And so that's why like the terrorists, like that's why it's such a big deal to catch Osama bin Laden and the Afghanistan like Taliban people, because how quickly they did that shit and how effectively did that shit. And the government didn't even want to talk about the software, but the fact that they had our software on lockdown, that scared the shit out of people. No, I'm gonna tell you how I got involved in that incident, because back then, when I was a little kid, I was a test pilot for Lockheed Martin on the Raptor program, the F-22 Lockheed Raptor. And so as a kid, the banned words list for me was anything with a dinosaur in it. I mean, anything I said Raptor in class, like they would call, somebody would call like on the phone, and like so somebody would come and like beat my ass. Like if I tried to talk about like sneak talking about it, like, oh, the raptor claw, or like even I couldn't even say the word like raptor, a dinosaur. I couldn't even talk about dinosaurs. It was crazy. Like it was like insane. Like I would get my ass beat over that program. But like I got into it, you know what I'm saying? My dad let me into it, and basically I was a Lockheed pilot, and Lockheed doesn't use Q, right? And so Lockheed is a totally different manufacturer. They use their own shit, and they weren't susceptible. And so when they shut all the airplanes down that day, the reason they shut them down, everybody down, is because QC Super was in charge that day of taking whatever they wanted out, you see? And so they shut all the planes down because none of the planes were safe, because any plane could get taken down in any second by QC Super, and that's why all the planes were shut down, except for the Lockheed pilots who went out there, and there were some Airbus people who went out there, and if you ask Airbus people, they might know about that. And Q, Airbus, I feel like they used something to do with Q a little bit actually, so I'm not even gonna say it was Airbus, but like they got shut, like fuck those guys, like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about Lockheed right now, and so basically basically I went out there in the Raptor, and so like we piloted up. I was a Navy pilot. I wasn't in the Air Force. I wasn't like anything to the Air Force. Like I was just a Navy pilot. I was just Miracle Baby. I was just VFA 14 Miracle Baby. I was a fighter pilot. I was trusted. I was young. I was like about to be in middle school, and I was like banging that shit. Like I was hard as fuck, and like in the cockpit, like nobody could stop me. Like I acted like an adult. Like my dad had faith in me. The military had faith in me. They give me rank, and the Raptor will go 3,800 um, miles an hour plus, and so that's all I'm gonna say about that. And so like when that shit happened, like as soon as like the shit happened and like the airplanes were like acting funny, like I got like got in the car and sped with sirens down, like racing down to JBLM, hopped in the Raptor, and I was ghost to the East Coast, like 100%, like going full throttle, like up into like the highest limits of the atmosphere that I could, to like go through like the air as fast as possible. And I came down, and man, so flight 93, bro. So flight 93, bro, that was the first thing we had to take care of, bro. And so we came down from the air, and when I came down, and I came down to the level of flight 93, all I could see is people freaking out in the windows, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I was like eye to eye with those people looking at my cockpit, and I seen them banging and like showing me their babies and shit, and it was just the craziest shit I ever seen. And the Joint Chief of Staff got over my phone, and the Joint Chief of Staff and the Air Force passed me over to the Joint Chief of the Staff of the Navy, and he said it's your decision if you want to try to muggle with them or not. but like I need like you to like do something right now, like pretty much like he's like I need you to be a superhero and like you have to stop them right now. This plane can't go any further with these people in charge. And and like basically it became a direct order after that. Like it wasn't even like I'm not even gonna say what was said, but I prayed, you know what I'm saying, at that moment, and like to even like I'm a, you know I don't talk about it on the radio enough, but like the Starfleet, like you know what I'm saying, anything aliens and humans, aliens or whoever's out there, like some kind of space force, you know what I'm saying. Before there was a space force, I prayed and I said like if you can do something, it's gods or somebody higher, somebody up there out there who could like help these people before I'm like ordered to take this plane down, like get these people off and shit, and then I shot a missile at the engine and I just used the cannons on the cockpit as much as possible. And I came up over the airplane and then I hit the missile right at the beginning of the left wing. And I was ordered to fly off. And at that point, I crashed in Virginia. And it was a Navy pilot at that time. And so the next obligation was they gave me the coordinates of the Air Force One that had been put in the air at that point, and they put me after that. And I'm not gonna lie, when I got to the Air Force One, I think I sweat myself silly or I pissed myself, but I was wet, I was stressed out, and like next thing you know, I swear to God, on like everything I loved, there's Canadian like jets coming in, and they said we told them to turn away, and they wouldn't like turn away, and it had been that way for a while. It had been like for half an hour they've been telling me, we have Canadian forces in, like they offered us help, and we said no, thank you, please stay out of airspace, and they're coming anyways, and so be prepared like to do something because like we said no, and so they're coming towards it seemed like they're coming towards the Air Force One, and so. At that point, we were ordered to engage them, and we lost some people because people had caught up to me at that point. But there was an air battle over the Air Force One, and at that point, the Air Force immediately like they put me in like Lieutenant General of the Air Force, and like after like the people that I took down like right in the air, and basically what I'm saying, like we took the president down, and a missile did hit the Pentagon. It definitely wasn't a plane. It was like a missile type of thing launched from like some kind of truck, and so coming across the parking lot and stuff. But uh, that's basically what happened in 9/11, and so we went to take the president to secure him, and everything you see on the news is the rest of the stuff. And Building 7, when Building 7 went down, basically how that worked is that was their little safe spot. When they thought before they thought before they thought that they were gonna get their basement blown up, they thought they were gonna launch the 76th floor of the World Trade Center, blow up, and all the kids die. They're planning to do that from Building 7, and so when all the other stuff happened, they were huddled up there, and we at that time, we were aware of like the bombs and everything they'd been planting in the buildings, and we knew where theirs were in Building 7, and everybody had been evacuated from there except for like the Scotiabank people and like the CIA people and like this greasy ass people, and so we actually pulled that building while they were there, and so yeah, we did do that. Um, but they're the ones who lit the building 1 and 2 off, and so uh, Bill Spiegel was involved in that. Bill Spiegel he runs like the underground tours in Seattle. Underground tours in Seattle is nothing you don't want to go you want to go to. It's like underground Seattle is huge. Like there's old bases from there's basically like air pockets under Seattle where all these hills are that like come from like air from the earth and to build all these pockets, and then like over time like land and stuff is paved over and cities are built on like, all these pockets, and that's why all these Seattle has all these hills and these huge underground pockets of air. People then tunneled into them and created huge societies where they do weird shit, and that's where all the occult stuff comes from in Seattle. It's just strange as fuck. It's weird. I'm not part of that, but Bill Spiegel runs all that, and so he knows how to do underground shit and weird Freemasonry shit. And he put those explosives in the charges in Building 1 and 2, and they made that happen and blew those up. An old CIA dude, I forgot his name, but he has like one eye and a fake eye. I seen him in King County Jail. He like pulled that shit, and so basically that was 9/11. Um, and we launched an immediate investigation on like what Nova Scotia, how they're making money, and like where, like, you know what I'm saying, to go from like how to like hit them back, and like hit, like, do the best we could to hit them back. And like what would you do if, like, you know, Canada attacked you, you know what I'm saying, their banking system attacked you and stuff. Or you go after Nova Scotia, you hit all their banks, like you remove all their banks. But no, they like covered it all up. They didn't let anybody know like what was happening. They let like Nova Scotia, Bank of Nova Scotia, stay in New York and stay in a bunch of places. And then what they would do, they tried to pep it up, like this new mission to Iraq. They were like, well, and it was true. What they said was true. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, but he said, you know, like they got this joint new mission where they got these prostitutes in Iraq, and this is what they're doing. If we want to hurt them, we hurt their pockets. And that was like the big thing. Like, oh, you want to go to war and with these people and start a big war, and there's gonna be politics involved, and we're gonna have to kill people. Why don't we just go after their pockets? Like they're like got these brothels in in you know, Iraq, and we're gonna go there and stop it. And it's gonna be like the Bay of Pigs, like they kept saying, because like it's an inside military secret that a Yugoslavian cruise liner was kidnapped from like the English Channel area by like French Foreign Legion and English people, and like, you know, on like the still existing slave triangle, and brought to Cuba and pimped out in Cuba. And that's why the Russians brought the missiles in, and the destroyers and shit, because they're pissed and they wanted to get their people back. And like Nova Scotia's in Canada, right? And like Nova Scotia's fucking with New York and all these kind of things, and like Nova Scotia is doing all this stuff, and so they brought the missiles and stuff. And so the only way we could get them to leave with their missiles is we negotiated with the Russians, as we said, you know, we'll do whatever we can to get the, you know, like John Fitzgerald Kennedy did this. What can we do to get these missiles out? And they said, we want you to cleanse Cuba from every non-Cuban person there who looks Caucasian, because you already told your people to get out, and the rest of the people are Nova Scotians, and we know it, and we got our people out. And so the Bay of Pigs massacre was like, and the way we had to do it, the United States had to find some people to do it who wouldn't get killed out there, because they were like ethnically cleansing Cuba, and we agreed to it. And so they sent like the Nation of Islam, and like Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and like the Muslim Brotherhood went out there, and like all like these people, like these like paisas, they called them back then, the essays, and like all like the people who were like down to like cleanse like these people out of like Cuba. And so that was the Bay of Pigs massacre. They posted it. They tried to make fun of the United States and say, oh, those were all American soldiers in like civilian uniforms, and that was the mob. But really, it was the mob. But it wasn't like the mob. Like it was like all those dead like Caucasian people were Canadians, and like that was our forces that killed them. And we were successful in Cuba, and that's why we didn't go to war with Russia. Is because we killed everybody in Cuba who didn't evacuate, who was there, because they're human trafficking people. And so that's like the Cuban Missile Crisis. And so, like Playboy and Hugh Hefner profited a lot of that, because he was one of the people who was running the brothel. Like Playboy, it first started in Cuba, and it wasn't like something big. It wasn't something everybody knows about. It started in Cuba, and that's how they found out that the girls that they were missing were in Cuba, because it got to Russia. Playboy got to Russia. It was it was like the underground sex magazine, like Love Magazine is now. Love Magazine is Abihullah Salim's little sex magazine. It's creepy as fuck. They cover the covers and like some shit that looks like a normal kids magazine, and the inside is just creepy as gross, like rapey shit. And then like they sell people at auction with like phone numbers and drops and shit. Like it's creepy as fuck. And so Playboy was that, and he made all that money in Cuba before, like he made it out before they got cleansed. And he started Playboy and bought the mansion to get Marilyn Monroe back to John Fitzgerald Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? Like we were making stupid deals back then and stuff. And like Marilyn Monroe, she didn't die, but she didn't actually Playboy. It was like, you know what I'm saying? She didn't want to do that no more. And so if you don't believe me, watch I Dream of Jeannie, and that's Marilyn Monroe. And you know, the astronaut dude, her astronaut, you know, master is John Fitzgerald Kennedy. And so they kept going after that. Okay, and so Barbara Eden is now Barbara Cochran of the show Shark Tank, and so you know she's still alive. And so when you watch Barbara Cochran, Barbara Cochran puts on a brown bob, a wig, and puts on like a big puffy suit, and she goes to Congress, and she's Nancy Pelosi. And so like the government, like, you know what I'm saying, like we're still in there and like we're still doing our thing. And so Mike Pence is Mike Kennedy off the show Airplane Repo. And so watch Airplane Repo and look at Mike Kennedy and then look at him as Mike Pence. Okay? So Mike Kennedy is John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Now I'm going to go into this assassination supposedly of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Jack Kennedy, who's John's brother, looked exactly like him, and he was working with Nova Scotia, and he was doing weird sex shit, and he was like pretty much trying to take out John's wife while John was on missions. John found this out, and Jack was running around with John's wife, and he pretty much raped her, and he was in Texas, and Jack and Lee Harvey Oswald both shot at him in the car because they were down with America, and Jack was then shot with a rubber bullet, or not Jack, but Lee Harvey Oswald was then shot with a rubber bullet, and John basically, froze Jack's body, played dead as John Fitzgerald Kennedy to cover it up because he was spooked about what he had done, and then he unfroze Jack's body and crashed it in an airplane, and then faked Jack's death, but it already had happened, and so John Fitzgerald Kennedy is still alive as Mike Kennedy of Airplane Repo, and then as Mike Pence, the vice president underneath Donald Trump. And so I use the word underneath lightly. And so, so if you really want to know the truth, Mike Pence is hella old. And if you look at pictures of like John Fitzgerald Kennedy's funeral with his son, and he's saluting, and he's getting that flag, the little redhead boy, that's basically Donald Trump as a little kid. And so Jackie Kennedy is then Karen Pence. And so basically that's like the family right there. And so people live a really long time if you take care of yourself, and like you're a Navy SEAL, just know that. And they're a Navy SEAL for a reason. And so that brings us to today. Basically what happened in the Kabul International Airport, as this has been going on. We gotta talk about Iraq. So Iraq, man. So Iraq, basically what that is we wanted to hit them where the money hurts. And so we found out where they were about to like do like this big brothel mission. They'd already been started a big brothel mission. There's kids, there's women kidnapped from all over the place to being brought in Cuba. And we talked to Saddam Hussein, and we found Scotiabank checks in his office. And like we broke him down like right on the spot. Like we beat his ass, you know what I'm saying? Like pretty much like broke him down with the seen them checks and shit, and like we like had him by his collar, and he was like, I do whatever they say, like they pay the bills, not me, like I can't make no money, like they're paying like more than I get paid by the government, all this bullshit and all these excuses. And then like the war, like we just invaded their shit, and he went hiding and shit, and we found him and shit, and then like we were in there ever since because like all these pimps like and shit in the neighborhood blended in, and we're like killing and all like blowing shit up and like all this like stuff in Iraq. And then like, you know what I'm saying, like people in the government who are like running the Marine Corps like were sending us on these fuck missions and shit where like they're sending us like out to places, and we would get ambushed. And then when we wouldn't like take their orders and we'd drive a different route, like we'd be hella straight, and we'd get the drop on these people, and like we'd like do our thing. And so it seemed like we were getting set up out there. And like, you know what I'm saying, I left Iraq. A crazy story is something you guys can verify is I left Iraq as like infantry and airborne and like a sniper and all that stuff that I was doing on the ground. I left because there was a little girl, she was carrying like a bag, and like she had a big metal soup can, like a big family size, like a huge like industrial like size soup can, and some bread in there, little kid. And you know what I'm saying, we thought it was like an IED or carrying some kind of explosive for somebody. And I'm not gonna lie, like we were ordered to fire, and like she got shot. And it was just like when it happened, and like we found out like there was like the soup in there, and like it wasn't like what we thought. Like people were like fucked up. People like opened that shit and like ate that shit. Like they were like, oh, it's too late. Like we can't do nothing about it. Like it was just greasy as fuck. Like there's animals out there. Like they had us out there for way too long. Like nowadays, like the way we did it in like Operation like Pineapple Express, we went there, we found out who the leader was, we killed him, we killed all his friends, we like pretty much burned him like on the hood, and like we left. Like it wasn't like these people had us there for like months and years. Like people turn into animals and do weird shit. But she actually survived, and she actually works at the North Seattle College bookstore. She's a little Iraqi and Persian, or not Persian. Sorry, what's the word? I'm gonna have to edit that. But anyways, she's from Iraq, and she's good people. I seen her, I talked to her, and like I didn't feel any like bad vibes or anything from like what had happened and stuff. So I hope like she like had like been taken care of, like she's in America and stuff, and I hope her home's like people at home are doing good and stuff. But like that really happened. Like I even like when I went to like the Marine Corps ball at the University of Washington, I even thought about taking that girl because I was like, oh, people in the Marines who like maybe had that on their mind would see her and know that like everything was all right. But like I had like no money and I was like in a sweatsuit and like I just wasn't like available to like take somebody out in a sweatsuit. You know what I'm saying? I was broke. But it's all good, because it was a really good, like really good performance, the best musical performance I've ever seen. But so Iraq was greasy, Afghanistan was greasy. We were looking for Osama bin Laden's people in Afghanistan when he was living here in Seattle, working at ET Towing, like what I'm saying, working like with different people, what I'm saying, like he was working with people like Wahid Qureshi, and like there's a little ethnic grocery store over in Linwood by the Linwood Transit Station, a big grocery store over there, uh, he's working with those people. Basically, he was just doing everything he could in America, like to like basically get over on people and traffic people and put people in like magazines, like they did, like back in the days, like they've been doing to sell people, and auction people. Playboy still even to like to this day, like Hugh Hefner like kidnap those girls and like force them to live in his mansion and rapes them and don't let them leave nowhere and then take pictures and sell them in magazines and then gets rid of them when like what I'm saying, like he's done with them and stuff. It's like a horrible enterprise and shit. The sex and shit, like we're trying to end that. What I'm saying? Like, and so Afghanistan International Airport, when we ordered the evacuation, when we went to like go to like the like get people out of there, so many people had been kidnapped at that airport and had been kidnapped for like going into that country, that like there were sex workers and sex slaves and sex families, like who were being whole families who were being used and trafficked, that when everybody heard the evacuation, everybody left at once. Like everybody went to the airport at once, and so all these Nova Scotian like pimps who are like running Nova Scotia and like pimping operations and brothels in Afghanistan, and all these pimps in Afghanistan, like come back and like from wherever they're doing, and like everybody's gone. Like all their sex workers are gone, and like these people flipped the fuck out and fucking like came down and stormed into the airport. And then like my guys are like the Marine people who I listed off, what I'm saying, God bless, what I'm saying, the dead, what I'm saying, to live forever, what I'm saying. We got like new medical technology right now. There's no like we're gonna be regrowing people like at wholesale pretty soon. And so they started freaking out, and they came down to the airport and like started shooting at our people and started killing our people. There's no like those people, like our Marines who died, they died for a real purpose. It wasn't just senseless like blowing people up. They were killed because they were trying to evacuate people who were sex trafficking victims, and the pimps came down and shot them. And so what happened is, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't Joe Biden, it wasn't Kamala Harris, it was actually Donald Trump who contacted me and asked if I wanted to go on a mission. And I immediately responded like, hell yeah, I do. Like, what I'm saying, what's the mission? What's going on? Like, where do you need me? And he said, the Kabul International Airport incident, like we need to do something about that. And I agreed, and I was like, how are we gonna get down there? Like, like I got this, schedule, but it doesn't mean anything to like service. And we took the fastest load carrying plane in the United States military fleet. I feel uncomfortable even saying what we took, but people are saying to let it fly on this mixtape, and so I'm just gonna say we took the B-2 stealth bomber. My dad worked on that program. He had access to those. He had access to fleets of those. Um, and those things are built to carry like thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds of explosives. And so, minus those explosives, you pack those things full of people. Just know that. And we took as many. I'm not even gonna say how many took. But we took a fleet of the B-2, the stealth bombers, and loaded them with all the stealth, all the stealth fighter you could fit, full of people who are special forces from all around the states and all around the country and different bases around the world, who like had access to like one of them, like B-2s that was in the fleet. We all loaded our B-2s up, and we all got all our special forces in them, and those motherfuckers are fast. Let me tell you what. So let me tell you, I got to pilot one of them on the way. It was issued by NASA. The one I got to fly wasn't even from the Air Force, and so the one I got issued to fly was from NASA. And so those things are fast. Like, so when we packed everybody up in there, it was scary as heck because for one, my daughter thought she was smart, and she snuck up in that motherfucker, like somehow, like some way, like I found out like when we were like on the way there. But like you can't move, like the bombs are strapped in, right? And so they don't move. And like, but when you're going that fast and that high, nobody can like move. So everybody's like real silent and like praying and like talking and like, you know what I'm saying? It was like crazy as fuck, and the stealth fighter going fast. And so what happened is NASA called over the radio, and they said, we're taking over for the FAA. You're flying for us right now. You're in our stealth fighter. You're going to do what we say. And they said, we're doing this for everybody, so I'm not trying to be rude to you, but you're going to have to do exactly what we say right now. We're taking over the airspace right now. And basically I was told just to go high, go high, go high. And man, like we like went so high up into the atmosphere, we were in space. And so that's why NASA took over that. Like when people heard that the FAA was being taken over by NASA, they thought we were like making jokes, or like they're like, why are we being taken over by like another agency, like what's going on? Like we're like, I'm an FAA pilot, and it's like we went out of FAA space into like space. And so those planes, the B-2 bomber, that shit is fast as shit. Like when we went into space, I'm not even gonna tell you how fast we were going, but we made it to the Kabul International Airport in like an hour and 47 minutes. Okay, that motherfucker was fast, like fast as fuck. How it works is like when you charge the surface at a B-2 stealth bomber, it pushes the air away from the surface, so you don't get the drag, right? Already for once. And then like when there's like thin air up there, there's like no drag, and so you're just flying through like, vacuum of space, like around the planet, that's quick as fuck. And so we did that with all our special forces all at once, and arrived pretty much like simultaneously at the like Kabul International Airport. And I flew as a Fleet Admiral of the United States Navy. As soon as we touched down, they put me back to my Air Force rank, which was General of the United States Air Force Security Forces, and they said, now you're like here at the airport, you're gonna do airport duty. We're not flying, we're not transporting anybody. You know what I'm saying? You're not a Navy pilot anymore. Your Air Force Security Forces, do your thing. And so first thing we did is we get into the airport, and we'd like already been told like who was starting the shit and like why they were like we already been told like people are getting trafficked and like the pimps are mad. And they told us the pimps were in Scotiabank uniforms, and that's what interested Donald Trump into contacting me, because before Biden took office, all I did is write Trump letters about Nova Scotia and their plots to take us over. And while nobody believed me, when the shit happened and he heard the story, he called me and stuff, and so we went. And so, praise him for that. And so, the first thing I did is I got out of there and I started seeing like Scotiabank uniforms and people with guns and shit. And I was like, the fuck is this? And we started dumping on them, like Air Force Security Forces, to get the fuck down, shooting at them, like this boot kicking, like the worst thing you can imagine, like of a military person like having to do. We did that to like these people, and like it was crazy as fuck. And so let me just tell you why Operation Pineapple Express is called Operation Pineapple Express. So for everybody in the Navy, oh man, bad words list or whatever, you can beat me up or whatever, but for a long time the SEAL Team 6 has been known as the Pineapple Team, or Pineapple. And so when they contacted me, they're like, bro, we're about to send like the Pineapple Team in here. And like they were about to send them the same way I just said about the 26 MEU, understaffed, like a bunch of leaders. Like all of my teams, all the teams that I work with were a bunch of leaders. And so you send us in, and you send us in some people to tell them what to do, and we make this shit happen. Like we're all specialists. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to, like, I'll take my people, you take your people, you take those people, and split them up, and make them do their thing. And so I've been offered some like a joint, like some Pineapple Express, And so when they said you're gonna send you in to assist the pineapple team, I said, well, it's gonna have to be Operation Pineapple Express then, because we're smoking on that, you know what I'm saying? And so in the military now they have this thing called the regenerative medicine certificate. And so if you get issued a regenerative medicine certificate, how it goes is if the military has regenerative medicine and they're paying for you to have a certificate, you have to use it. And so for like fighter pilots and shit, when we're under high gravity and we're blacking out, we're instructed to squeeze our muscles. Or some people wear suits that like squeeze their muscles and squeeze their bodies, so you don't pass out. Marijuana has been known to restrict the blood vessels and like constrict their blood vessels, and so like in a safely in a safe way. And so when you're a pilot, that makes a lot of difference. And so when you smoke it and you smoke weed and you go up there, you can do high G maneuvers and high G turns and stuff, and your body will hold together like somehow, some way. Like I think it's just crazy that marijuana does that, but it does that. And in the combat situations, it's like a stimuli that it's not hazardous to you. There's no ill will effects, and so I've been issued one of those, and so I'm required to use it. And so for any job or any legal situations or any like court or any like county court or whatever, like it's like a federal mandate. Like Congress supplies those like the medicinal certificates, the regenerative certificates, and so we're complying with federal laws, and it's part of the force thing that Congress is trying to pass, and or did pass or signed or whatever they've done, and so that's legit. And so we brought marijuana. I'm not even gonna lie, we were smoking weed in the B2s on the way there because like yeah, I guess that's an expensive aircraft and you know what I'm saying, we're like loading people on there and like doing dangerous stuff. But in my opinion, like you know what I'm saying, those things are built like with like the air, like to clean the air and stuff, and like we're about to like die and shit. Like maybe possibly we thought like we're like smoking weed in this motherfucker to make sure we're like intensified as possible by the time, you know what I'm saying, we land and shit. And so we had like vented it and like we were like doing like whatever we had to do to like make that shit happen. And like we were blowing in the B2 on the way, like just packed, like hella B2s like packed, you know what I'm saying, with people and shit. As much as explosive would be in there, like we had people, and people don't weigh as much as explosives, let me tell you that. And so we flew there, everybody landed, and like shit got hyped. And so like as soon as, you know what I'm saying, we landed, like we started formulating, like we had no time to do nothing because all these like Canadians and the Scotiabankers with guns out everywhere and shit, like always trying to take over the mission and shit. Like you know what I'm saying, like take over shit, like trying to do whatever the fuck they want, and like trying to be like, oh, like we're trying to like make it like the way we want. Oh, those people can't leave. Like no, we're gonna leave like they want to. We're evacuating them. We're evacuating them. They have a visa to go. Like we're taking them right now. Like what the fuck's up? You know what I'm saying? And we started shooting at them and beating their ass. And like as we killed more of them, the people in the airport became more confident in the security forces and the hundreds and hundreds of people that we stuffed in the B-2 stealth bombers and shit. And they started seeing like this advanced weaponry land and hella people hop out, and like they didn't even know we could carry people like that. And we hopped out of that motherfucker, and people started being like, we started asking like, who's the leader? Who's the leader? Because I got tired of like just killing these motherfuckers, and I was like, who's the leader? Like I'm hearing radio calls. I'm hearing like the same person every time I see some of these motherfuckers. I hear the same person on the radio, and I want to get at that guy instead of, you know what I'm saying, like just taking like this little henchman and sit down and shit. And I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Like who's that guy on the radio? And people started telling me where they were up the hill, to the northwest, to the north, you know what I'm saying? And like we hit that motherfucker like you know what I'm saying? Like we hit it as hard as you possibly could. Like I want you to hear the it's a DMX song. You know what I'm saying? He's like, give to the needy, don't be greedy, you know what I'm saying? Like how he runs up in the dude's house and shit and like take like go just like, you know what I'm saying, all running with dogs and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the best civilian like example that I could tell you guys like what we did, watch that video. And basically rest in peace to DMX. But like in reality, yeah, it was like a hill and we stormed the hill, a bunch of us, as many as possible, and we was like expending all our ammunition to the point where like I had to use hand to hand combat, and I had to like hit a nigga with a rock to get his rifle and shit. It was crazy as fuck. Like it was like 4 hours of intensive combat. It was and only 14 people had to be medevaced, and we got every single one of the people out of it. We didn't leave a single man behind. And so 14 people, and I'm not gonna say 14 people were dead, but 14 people had to be medevaced. And so everybody came back on their own like feet. And so like out of like 600 people that we got there, that's an amazing amount of people. And like we already had people like on the way, and so like not everybody had to like take like the same ways that we got to get there. Like, but we hit that motherfucker, and like we took out like all like the like the Scotia banks and like the people and like their radio installation, their towers and shit, and like all like their shit, like their pimp houses and shit. Like all my people, I was instructed to keep going wherever. Like ask the people, ask the like slaves, ask the sex slaves, like ask them where like leaders are and where like is the leader in their neighborhood. And I told them to do that, and we started doing that, and they started doing that, and they started hitting the leaders in those neighborhoods of the Scotia banks, and we just took them out. But we just stormed the city, bro. And then once like people said like, oh, we don't know where anybody else is, we like head back to the airport, and motherfucking like I was hella tired at that point. And then like we instructed them, I gave them like a list of things that they could work on to be more secure. Things that I used to do at SeaTac Airport as the Air Marshal, Judge Air Marshal there from the Air Force Security Forces Police and Air Force Security Forces Lieutenant General before I got my extra star to be a general. For identifying Kim Jong Il is that dude from Huang's World, Eddie Huang. You know what I'm saying, the Korean leader and shit. Basically, stopping like organ trafficking shit that he'd been doing, working hard on that. I haven't seen him in a while, so. And so when we hit that motherfucking Operation Pineapple Express, man, on the way back we just slept, bro, and like somebody else piloted us back who I had experienced to like I like couldn't like do the hours because like the FAA regulations and we're still in FAA space and like I can't get to space without going through FAA space, and so I'm not gonna argue with their you gotta go to sleep or whatever. And so I came back and I disassociated myself with like doing my job and like all the shit that I was supposed to do. But that shit was crazy, bro. That shit was crazy as fuck, bro. That shit was the most crazy shit ever to happen. They're comparing it with Normandy. All like the older people, like the Pentagon, they're saying like it was so successful. Like they said, minus like we didn't lose as many people, like it is people, and so um, we had a really good success there. And they said 20 years of us being there, we finally got them all cornered because when we did the evac, all of them chased the people down to the airport. Like everybody in the country who was a pimp went to that same spot and was all together, and we hit them all at once. And like we fucking like we used like everything we had to like um burn their shit like down to the ground, like all over the pile of them. Like we weren't using any nuclear shit, but we got shit like this different now. We're worried about taking care of the environment a little better now, but you still gotta agree to people. And so we do our best to take care of these people for you. We're not like murderers or killers or anything, but at the Pentagon, we have to learn how to use this thing called graphs. And I know you know what graphs mean, but like the graphs of the Pentagon, they're life and death and a survivability ratio graphs, and like where like people are surviving the longest. And like sometimes events that happen in like a 10-year period or a 20-year period or 50-year period, you can see where people's survivability in their city or in their neighborhood or in their state or wherever just goes down sharply and people start dying. And so every time we see one of those, so it's because of a specific series of incidents or a specific incident. And what we're paid to do is as soon as we find one of those incidents to happen, we stop it as soon as possible and take out the people who did that. And when the graph goes back up, we just take that trend and we copy it over and over and over again in dealing with people who make our survivability go down. And that's all the Pentagon does. And people think the Pentagon does secret cult things. That's just agencies who are creeps who aren't actual government. We're like what the actual government is like they're actually trying to protect you based off like math and statistics and shit. And like so when people take statistics and math and shit, it's like for real. Like you have to like learn how to affect the graph. And like how I learned how to do graphing was like when I was in like flight school and like when I was doing like flight simulators and I was actually flying as a kid. You have to like know like is your acceleration or deceleration like where you're gonna be at like in the air like when you make a certain maneuver and shit. And so I learned how to read that shit. And so when I like can like if we have to take some couple people out to save like 10 to 100 people a day dying for like weeks to months to years at a time, which actually happens in countries and stuff, and even in America, I'm gonna do that shit, whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? Even if it means somebody else doesn't make it because they're evil and they're fucking up the graph that we have. And so I make sure our graphs are accurate too. Like when I like do stuff, that's why I investigate stuff. That's why you always see me posting shit and like just I want to hear what people think about the shit that I find out. And people think it's crazy and I make it up and shit, but I just be finding out crazy shit and I just share it instantly to see what people think. I don't even care what people like say. Like they can say I'm making shit up if they want to, but it's not like made up because that shit is covered by like all the news stations that I called out earlier. Thank you guys. Um, so how that affected people is all those girls and all those families who would have produced offspring from being forcibly trafficked and forcibly pimped, and would have those kids would have been in refuge, and those kids would have produced possibly trafficked kids, and they would have been all fucked up, and that would have like really been a horrible graft. That they've been like, outliers will fuck the graft up. You gotta take those motherfuckers out. Those weird people are outliers. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, basically those people won't be trafficked, and those generations of kids, like I'm thinking like these kids who are being trafficked to their kids and their kids, the people grown and grandma, we're taking grandmas, we're taking mothers, we're taking kids, we're taking 3 generations of people who are being trafficked. And so multiply that by like every single one of those more generations come after, except for the grandmas, they're usually having kids and stuff, but like the mothers and the kids, like they're gonna be having more kids that are gonna be trapped. And so the amount of people that we shoved in like C-17s and like the AC-130s and like you name it, like, you know what I'm saying? We did that. And so, except for Boeing, I'm not gonna say, like, I just want to call that out because we're working on the Boeing thing. And when I decided to design a new helicopter using the Gray Wolf platform, I never thought that the government would want what I built because I built it for like a personal reason for my squadron, and I put some shit in there that I like had got like from like, be honest, like from the space program, and it was all like Pascal. We used like Pascal, it's like scientific equipment and shit, and like our shit is like dope as fuck. And so like we can sense it, like find anything we want to, and they like in like missiles, whatever. Like we can determine like the frequency of like the pitch of like the smell of like that shit. And so um, when they gave me $68 billion to build the program to build the Gray Wolf for the military for the U.S. Air Force, I spent $40 billion of it buying Boeing from Stan Deal. And that's before like I arrested Jeffrey Epstein, who turned out to be Bill Gates, and that's before I arrested Ghislaine Maxwell, who turned out to be Melinda Gates. And that's before I beat up Hillary Clinton and stomped her on her foot and her leg and fucked her shit up because she was trafficking liver and Planned Parenthood packages and trying to use my Air Force Security Forces Black Ravens at the SeaTac Airport, which is why I stopped them from working at the SeaTac Airport, which is why the Air Force Security Forces police actually took over and started doing their fucking thing. Like civilian, like never doubt a civilian federal detective. Never ever doubt a civilian federal detective. Like even if it's not like a military detective. Like when you're like in a badge and you're a federal detective, like you are even above. You can arrest any military person as a federal detective. Just know that. It's crazy. Like the power that you have is like a judge air marshal is the scariest thing that I've ever been to me, even because like if somebody got my shit and tried to be me, they would be like doing some weird shit if they took like my identity. So I have to like make sure that people know that's who I am. Like I'm A107, you know what I'm saying, Air Force Security Force Police. Like we catch the weird guys like Jeffrey Epstein and all these guys. And so look it up. Look at Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, and then take those pictures on Google Images and open a new window on a new screen or split screen it and look up Bill Gates and Linda Gates and compare those couples and stuff. And you can see it's not a joke. Like the Air Force Security Force is no joke. Enlist and be a security forces right now with the Air Force. We're doing Space Forces, security forces, and so security forces, people think we're like mall cops and shit. So when you think about it, if you're on a military base and the only people with guns are the security forces, think about it. When you're on the base and you're doing, even if you're infantry, even if you're a paratrooper, you're not with a gun, you're assault rifle, you're not with anything on the base, and you walk by and you got security forces like 10 guns on them and grenades or whatever the fuck he wants to carry. You got to really realize that basically like we're there for a reason, and like we're strapped down for a reason, and like, you know what I'm saying, we're not a joke. And so like don't talk shit about security forces. And I don't think anybody does talk shit about us, but for a long time like people have been like kind of joking like we're like some security guards or something, but like we got guns and you don't. And it's for a reason, because we know how to use that shit. Okay. And so then they send us out for crazy shit and like secure you guys, like we're forces security. And so like no matter how much badass you are as a paratrooper, you still have a security guard that protects you that's more badass, and that's Air Force Security Forces. And so, you know what I'm saying, federal government, you know what I'm saying, I love everybody, you know what I'm saying, out there. The Air Force Security Forces, we go hard as fuck. We go harder than the Navy SEALs, I'm gonna lie. Not lying. And so, the only thing I compare to badassery of the Air Force Security Forces would be a Navy strike fighter pilot, and that's it. Even being a Marine, even being airborne, even being Rangers. Rangers is cool, but it's a lot of civilian work. So Rangers, what they do is they certify a Ranger and they go out on rescue missions or they work in law enforcement. And so a lot of firefighters and medics and police and professional folk are and emergency services are Rangers, and that's what we do. Like it's like they tell you when like you take Ranger school, they're like, we're like career oriented, and a lot of people will retire from being here or whatever and go into law enforcement, and that's what we're training you to do right now is be legal abiding, like being your Ranger, like what I'm saying, old school Texas Ranger. They're not joking. Respect to the Rangers and shit. And so basically this mixtape, I just wanted to tell you what really happened and what's really going on. I've been dealing with a lot of strife lately. You know what I'm saying? I've been going hard on this hill on terrorists, Boko Haram and stuff. And the city government is getting people in the city government who work for like big time, like the metros and in the jail. Like there's a guy named Lyons, like he's a corrections officer in the jail. Like there's people like big time, like work with Boko Haram and like what I'm saying, and Benjamin Shiku or Abu Bakr Shiku, aka Ben King, staying in the Pinehurst area, and those tower apartments. You gotta watch out for these people and shit. I've seen these guys Americans Most Wanted and shit, robbing people and shit. So like, you gotta just watch out. Boko Haram, it goes way back to the 1805 barbarian pirates. Read like the Napoleon Wars, to Thomas Jefferson. It's a book. You can find that shit on Amazon. It talks about like America stopped paying France for protection to go to the Mediterranean, and then we started getting robbed by the barbarian pirates, and they like blamed it on like black people, and like that's why slavery started. Because like when you look at the Revolutionary War, there were black generals and black people leading with white people, and we're all like cooperating. And then after like the Napoleon Wars, then that's when slavery started and stuff, because French people like had printing presses and shit, and were printing out flyers to like this person's like wanted and shit, and they're always black people. And then like what I'm saying, like pretty much black people were like getting taken as slaves. And like the Underground Railroad, to be honest, that was like some old like Freemasonry shit. And they basically acted like they were rescuing people to Canada, but Canada, Canada was built when the Revolutionary War. The people came over from Britain and France and tried to invade us, and they didn't bring rations and stuff for a two-way trip. They came to invade and take our shit, and they failed. And so their boats couldn't go back over, the water over the Atlantic Ocean to England. They would die, and so they went north as far as they could until the Canons. They couldn't see the Canons no more, and they founded Nova Scotia, and they founded Canada. And Canadian people are all descendants of the people who are still trying to take us over. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And so, this Boko Haram pirates and shit. You know what I'm saying? Boko, or in French, is buku, like buku money. Like rappers talk about, I got buku cash. Like you talk about like people from New Orleans and shit, like TRU, or like cash money and shit. Like I got buku something. You know what I'm saying? It means an overabundance of something. And then haram or harem, it's like if it's harem, it means like sex slaves in a dungeon, pretty much. Or it's haram, it could mean sin. And so either way, it's an overabundance of sin or overabundance of prostitutes, like pretty much under a dungeon, like underground prostitutes. And so that's what like they do, is they kidnap people and they pimp them and they do hella shit. Like something you might want to know is like Marilyn Joy Wilkes of Houston, Texas, got caught pimping a teenager and torturing her and burning her stuff. And it was like part of like we believe, like federal agencies believe it was part of the Boko Haram, involved stuff with like Benjamin King or Abu Bakr Shiku. And so those people like don't even stay in prison. Like those people will literally like like what we're believing is a woman who like got arrested for doing that. She got arrested with a stolen ID that belonged to a girl named Marilyn Joy Wilkes. And then after that, while she was in jail, basically like in between going from the Harris County Jail to the Texas Department of like Correctional, Justice or whatever, before she went to the prison out there, which is the Christina Milton Crane unit, which she was supposed to go to. They brought that real girl who they stole the ID from, and they brought her in. And they switched her out for the girl who committed the crime. And the girl who committed the crime was in all the news reports. Like you can like Google like Marilyn Joy Wilkes, like Houston, Texas female pimp, like and find her. Like that girl's running around in Seattle back again, and like you know what I'm saying, like running around in like Queen Anne and running around in Northgate and running around in like near like different areas and like hospitals and like doing weird shit. And so watch out for her. And so you know these terrorists are in America. You know what I'm saying? And so like it's scary as like hell being a Navy SEAL and being like a security forces officer because you always want to like if the government tells you like to secure something or secure area or keep going hard and they tell you not to go hard, that's a direct order and that's how you keep your order. It's like in the military when they give you a direct order, anytime they give you an order, until somebody tells you directly to undo that or to do something like specifically different and like authorizes like to go over the other order that you had, like you do that, like you can do that for years. That's why they find like the people like in other countries like buried under like caves who like were given orders to like go lock down and prepare for like the nuclear war, who'd like been there for like 40 years because like when they give you an order like you stick to that shit. And so like when I'm told to like stay aggressive and be aggressive, like I'm doing that shit. And so basically like you know what I'm saying, like we go hard as fuck. And so it's the Air Force security forces and all the security forces out there, you know what I'm saying, Corey Andrew Hofstad, you know what I'm saying, my dad Lonnie Johnson, you know what I'm saying, my biological father, they called him Frag, Jimmy, you know what I'm saying, was his name. He got, you know, a little blown up or like hurt and stuff, and you know what I'm saying, like Lonnie Johnson like took care of me and like took me like under his wing, was like gave me access to everything. That's why like I know all the stuff I know now is because like I had access to anything he had access to, like through my like identification being his son. Like nobody knew where he was, and so they would just like say find him, you know what I'm saying, and I had access to all these areas and shit. And I just started learning shit and then like keeping it a secret. But like now it's like to the point where other people are doing our shit so much, and sometimes other countries get our shit and use it better than we're using. It's like you got to talk about it, because if it's supposed to be secret and it's already out there, then you got to talk about it, because then our people will understand it and our people will use it better, and somebody will hear this shit and be like, oh, I wish I could use it this way for America, and like they'll start using it better. And so I talk about like some things that we can use that are already out there just to like hype it up a little bit. And so you know what I'm saying, anything that I say that is interesting, you know what I'm saying, like you hype on that because the military's doing it and you can get a job there. um you know, a lot of the restrictions I see on like this is like our enlistments. I think too many people can't enlist because they have unpaid tickets, or it's like simple shit like that, where like these other countries like Nova Scotia and like the French Foreign Legion, they're recruiting people like for any, like who've done anything. The French Foreign Legion, they will recruit you. The French Foreign Legion will recruit you if you don't rape somebody in another country and murder somebody in another country and did some weird shit in another country, and then basically like you've like done all of that and you can get there into the French Foreign Legion as long as you've never like committed like a felony or an assault or something against a French citizen. And so they're looking for people who are like loyal, who'll be loyal to France and like who are crazy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Or like who just have never no beef with France, like so they can make you loyal to France and are crazy as fuck. And so like Serco, who's a prison management company and a prison like operator from England, who's like part of like the royal family there, they will like literally take prisoners out of prison who're supposed to be there for life and then put them in the French Foreign Legion and release them, and then pretend like those people are still in prison, but they're not in the prison population. Like they'll like skip the census and like fake the census numbers and shit. And then like basically what happens then is that like the French Foreign Legion grows using criminals that are from like America, who get arrested in America. Or like so like a bunch of circle prisons in America will release the prisoners right into the population under French Foreign Legion like control. So like we have prisoners running the streets that work for French Foreign Legion who will do anything for the French Foreign Legion because they can know they can escape to France or whatever have you, or like get support, or they can do whatever they want. They can rape, they can murder, they can do whatever they want. And so like the French Foreign Legion, they use places like Academi, which is a security company that used to be called Blackwater, and like those people get contracted to like train like the people how to be like U.S. military forces and how to impersonate police and like how to do tactical shit and all kind of crazy shit that they need and what slang to use and like what's hot in the streets and like pretty much how to like pretend to be a police officer. And so basically what they're doing is like they're starting these groups after they train at Blackwater, like the Proud Boys and shit. Is like supposedly it's like an American ultra white wing hate group or extremist group, but it's really a French Foreign Legion thing, and they just use it to like create hate within America, like recruit as many like people as they can to like pretend like whites and blacks don't get along here, and like it's not like that they're like racist, but they're all just white because they're from Canada and like France, and like they recruit white people, and like you know what I'm saying, Canadians and French people, if they're invading us, you know what I'm saying, the most strategical thing to do is kill the black people, and you never notice the white people get switched out from the other white people, like type of shit. Like it's creepy as fuck how they do. Like they just like assimilate nations. That's why there's French New Guinea and French New Zealand places, like in French quarters in New Orleans. Like you know what I'm saying, they just take over and habitate people and shit. It's crazy as fuck. And so, um, basically, you know what I'm saying, like, like the Proud Boys, they invaded the Capitol. You know what I'm saying? Like they like then what they do is they do flash mobs where they show up and do big gatherings. What they're really doing is showing up like when important people show up to an event or show up to a place, they show up in a big flash mob and engulf all those people, and then they kidnap people, put you in their vans and shit, and drive off, and then they all leave. And then you're like, oh man, that was a crazy demonstration, but all your friends are gone, and you're like, oh, he left. Like, oh, he must have left. He didn't like what was going on here. He didn't like the demonstration. He must have like felt like there's too many people that left, and then you never see from like hell long time. And then by the time you hear from him, he's like doing whatever these people are saying. Cause it had him for like a week and shit. Like flash mobs will just kidnap you. It's crazy as fuck. And so that's the type of shit we're fighting. Operation, Pineapple Express. We like did that shit crazy as fucking fast in Afghanistan. We're trying to do that shit here in America. So just like if we go into martial law, bro, I'm not Alex Jones and shit. I'm not gonna tell you martial law. We're gonna put you in FEMA camps. Martial law is to ensure that Americans are successful, and if we get invaded, we got to do something with them. If we got to take them and burn them and shit, like we got to do that shit, like say hell and shit. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you about the Nazis, right? So the Nazis, right? So after like the Boko Haram stuff, the Tripoli pirates, the Tripolian pirates, after like the wars we fought like with like French like foreign legions like in different countries who would like attack us like the barbarian pirates did for France. After all that happened, there was a civil war, and so like I said, the Serco is freeing people, right? And so they're freeing people from the prisons, and so like what the Confederate was the Convict Federation, right? And it was like a group who was getting released from the prisons by the French people into like the French army, and they didn't try to invade our country, and there was a civil war, and everybody blamed it on like us, like oh Americans couldn't get along or Americans killed so many Americans, but no, there's a French Foreign Legion and they invaded us, and then slavery and all that stuff got blamed on us, and like it was really them like fucking up our country and then trying to take it over like with like you know what I'm saying, printing and like newspapers and publicity and slavery and then war and then freeing prisoners, like whatever they could do, like they acted like real nice and smile on your face. Like there's a thing called coup d'état, and coup d'état is a French word that means sneak and stealthily insert yourself within the leadership and just take it over violently. And so that's a French tactic because it's used by French people. And if it's a French tactic that we all know about, it's because they use it a lot. And so that's what they're doing. Um, you know what I'm saying? I learned all this type of stuff at West Point Naval Academy. The school paid for me to do it because my father, Frag, had a fleet admiral scholarship, and like when he became injured, like they like passed it on to me somehow, and so I got lucky with that, and I put my 20 years to like doing combat, and even if I was underage when I did some of that, and so, um, and then in the Naval Postgraduate School in California, got to spend some time with my family. Shout out to Compton, Rosecrans 500. You know what I'm saying? The only place where you see, you know what I'm saying, a crip on Rosecrans and a Paru on Paru Street, literally, you know what I'm saying, shake hands and work with each other and try to clean up the neighborhood. Like right in the middle where I was living at High Price Gardens, like the back window, I look out on it was Paru Street, and then the front window I look out was Rosecrans, and I'm, you know what I'm saying, I was from Rosecrans and shit, and so, but like you learn like real young age, like gangbanging you see in like the movies and shit, it's not like reality and shit. Like gangbangs is like really like people just trying to like keep the neighborhood safe and like repping their team like a football team, and that's what it is. All the regs and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They're proud of their neighborhood. People do neighborhood competitions and basketball games and all kind of shit, intramural shit. You know what I'm saying? And so You know what I'm saying, like Rosecrans and the Crips, and we did the, you know what I'm saying, the Truce in '92. Man, like we still banging out there, like the same thing. And then, you know what I'm saying, you got all the different neighborhoods, and my uncle, you know what I'm saying, Charlie Murphy, he pretends he's dead. The nigga's alive like a motherfucker. The nigga's the realest nigga ever. Like uh, he used to babysit me, like when I was a little kid and shit. Like he was the one person that I could know that my dad gave me the opportunity who I could like go to their house. I knew if I went to his house, nothing crazy would happen to me. I knew like I would never be like in a danger, like with situation that was like weird that I couldn't handle. Like he was involved in like some hood shit, but it was never like, it was like upper level, like to where it wasn't like, no, I wouldn't have to worry about no weird people like being gay or like some weird nigga shit like happening. Like his niggas were so for real about their money and about their hustle and about like, you know what I'm saying, like even the gangbanger shit, like they was like really going after like, you know what I'm saying, corrupt like mobsters and shit. Like it wasn't like no like, you know what I'm saying, like he was on like, you know what I'm saying, with MC8 and, you know what I'm saying, like that's his people and shit. So like, you know what I'm saying, like he showed me like the Crips and Bloods isn't supposed to be about killing each other. It's supposed to be finding out who's danger in your neighborhood, and, you know what I'm saying, you handle that shit and protect your, region. In California is like safer for like the kids. Like people talk worry about gangbanging and shit, but like it's like a lot of that stuff. People say it's black on black violence, but in reality, it's somebody who comes into that neighborhood who's like working for some outside like manipulator who has no business in that neighborhood, and it has nothing to do with no gangbanger rival shit. It's just like they like people just do weird shit and blame it on somebody else, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna say, uh, you know what I'm saying, like California, I love that shit, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, bringing up the Naval Academy, you know what I'm saying, brought that up, but Naval Academy was, it was a ruthless and most gangster institute. But they treated me like a Navy. If you're a Navy SEAL, they treat you like crazy. Like they beat your ass. Like they make like see if like you could be like the Navy SEAL with like a, you know, saying postgraduate degree and shit. So um yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. Um, leaving on an educational note. I love every single one of you guys. I said I was gonna talk about what the next plans are, what we're gonna do next, and so what I'm concerned about is like politics right now, because politics are scaring me. Because like once you start working for the executive branch of the government and like the military for so long enough, you realize that politics are just random people who become popular and then get jobs at positions without like a real merit to what they've been doing the whole time. Versus the military is, you know exactly what that person's been doing the whole life, and like you know exactly what their accomplishments are that lead to like certain ranks and degrees, and like getting like your like years in, and like to get like your master and like of like your specialty and like whatever you're doing. Like it's just scary. Politics are scary. And so like even like the Biden and Kamala Harris thing, there's like questions about their presidency. And I'm not gonna say there's not questions about Donald Trump's presidency either, but Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, like I think they're too affiliated with like Wahid Qureshi and like Zabi Salim being alive instead of like Osama bin Laden being dead, and like the photoshopping that went into like making him look dead after we beat him up, and like you know what I'm saying, like rescuing him out of the water after we dumped him in the water while he was still like alive because we thought like the sharks were gonna get him, which I'm not gonna lie, like I was a part of that. And then you know what I'm saying, like it Spuds, you know what I'm saying, like a seafood place over in Green Lake, a little joint by I Love Hot Yoga, which is Wahid Qureshi's yoga shop. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden literally like bright strike me and like took my wallet. You know what I'm saying? It was like December 1st, like 2016, and like all my military issue like credit cards were in there for like all my joint forces and all like my squadrons and all like my maintenance shit, and like for everything to pay for our jets and our fighter equipment and like our new contracts and everything was in there. And they like gaffled me and bright strike me and like sent me on my way like pretty much when I was on security detail for him, because he said his Secret Service wasn't enough out here. And like we found out Mike Space, who was working there, this big tall white guy, was actually supposed to be a short fat black guy who was a bomb detective and a bomb, you know, specialist. Mike Space is still alive. They tried like put him in Western State Hospital, and then like had some white guy using his ID with his thumb over the ID, and so he didn't trust the Secret Service in Seattle, and so he had security forces, you know, what I'm saying, coming in, and they like burst striking me when he's the vice president. And like I know for a fact, working for Obama, like he told me like nobody like but me or you said Joe Biden like doesn't have access to any of this. Like he like mentioned multiple times because like being the vice president and the president is so much separate that like people don't understand like especially for me in my position like as a fleet admiral in constitutional law, anybody with 5 stars or over 4 stars can like overrule the president. And so when they made me fleet admiral after my fleet admiral candidacy, like they like did it for a reason. They were like thinking of before they did that. And if you have access to my DIRDA's profile, if you're a senior officer in the military, you can look that up. And so it's like, you know what I'm saying, before then it's being like the executive president or like the nuclear president or the underground president or whatever, like as a 32-year-old like lieutenant general or the 32-year-old general, you know what I'm saying, in the Air Force security forces, you know what I'm saying, like they like have me at that rank because I'm 32 years old and I can take some intelligence and I can actually go in there and verify that it happens and come back and report it and with my own body and my own physical skills as a 32-year-old. Like I fight. I did the World Taekwondo Federation is apricot. You know what I'm saying? Like I had kids that are all strong and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I recorded a mixtape about my kids being strong. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody I missed. I know a lot of people are in there. God bless everybody. Um, you know what I'm saying? My uncle and shit. Still, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, ain't got arrested out here. Like Seattle police. And one thing for the Seattle police, Brian Hofstad, he was arrested and charged and sentenced after 2 or 3 little kids were found in his like Rubbermaid trash can outside of his house, and then they had the video of the surveillance footage of him breaking into a home and kidnapping kids, and the kids were biting him, and he was slapping around, and like they're running, and he's like yelling at him and shit, and he drug him to his car, and he got off with like pretty much like burglary or something in the first degree, or he tried to say like they were dead. He tried to say they were dead when he kidnapped them at first, and he was changing the story and saying like in Washington state law you can do whatever you want with dead people type of shit. Like he's like a weirdo, and he got sentenced to 75 years. And like he's not in jail, he's like out in the streets because like my grandpa like switched him out like with like dude like their switch like thing that I'm talking about, like the hitchhiker, like on some weird shit. And so like my uncle, like he'd be like working at North Seattle College under the name Daniel Tarker, and it's a North Seattle College Student Learning Center. He like dyes his hair like bleach blonde and like talks like putting on a funny accent like fucking like Voldemort or like Harry Potter looking like outfitting and shit on, and like he like basically, you know what I'm saying, like he like works there and he acts hella weird. And like the real Daniel Tarker was a mixed black guy who I think still goes to school there. Last time I seen him, like he's an older guy, and like you know what I'm saying, like Daniel Tarker just be like running shit and like running the police. The police don't ever arrest him or report it into the police. Like he's supposed to be in prison and he's not. And so Brian Hofstad, we could take that dude down. He lives on 143rd and Stoneway and like Northgate Shoreline area in a little greenhouse with like a little fence around it and shit. And like you know what I'm saying, like on like the southeastern corner of 133rd and Stone. And so that fool could, you know what I'm saying, get it too, you know what I'm saying? Like all these people, like, you know what I'm saying, like we just take them down and we can live happily without being like trafficked and shit. Cause he'd be trafficking out here. He'd be like Scotiabank representative and shit. And my grandpa, like, you know what I'm saying? I wish I had a picture of my grandpa because he sure looked like George Soros and shit, but I'm not part of that. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom hated my uncle and shit. Like, and I got different uncles and shit. Like my black uncle, like I talked about, like my Charlie Murphy niggas and MC8s and shit from California, and my dad, Lonnie Johnson and shit. I got, you know what I'm saying, the black family, and then my mom's family, who's like not with him, like my grandma's family and shit, like you know what I'm saying, like her mom's family and shit and stuff. Like they're all, you know what I'm saying, on the Super Saiyan level, you know what I'm saying, and my, you know what I'm saying, my dad on his Kryptonian shit, you know what I'm saying, and so I just be as hard as possible, you know what I'm saying, do what the government tells me. Operation Pineapple Express. Everybody who follows me, and when people talk about following, usually they mean like on Facebook or YouTube or listens or plays or whatever. I mean like literally who follows me. I'm not talking about the people who follow me and like look on my demise and try to like trying to gank me or something. I'm talking about everybody who like rolls because like they're part of the program or trying to do the shit or like, you know what I'm saying, really trying to like, you know what I'm saying, like be a part of the movement to like secure things like security forces. Anybody's there for like security of like the greater American like sovereignty and good. You know what I'm saying? Like uh follows me on missions, follows me when I go out, I see you in the field. Like thank you, Detective Susan Ross of the Seattle Police Department. Um I've seen you out in Operation Pineapple Express, and like you thanked me and showed me your gratitude, and then like a week later you released my all my laptops and shit. I'm doing like this mixtape on that laptop right now. You know what I'm saying? It's September 14th. You know what I'm saying? 2021. I appreciate that. Um, Thank you, Jonathan Ishii. I know you give me a hard time for putting classified stuff in my little MRT book, but I've seen you out there. I've seen a lot of people from Seattle out there. There were cops who like didn't really think I was like doing like the real thing until they seen me out there. Um, Thank you to the Seattle Police Department who like in the Central District who like there's a real cops. I feel like because like one time like a dude was attacking this pregnant chick and she ran into like the porta potty and like he was kicking on the thing and like I beat his ass and like he pulled a knife and I stabbed him with it and shit and it broke off in him and like the cops showed up and just started shooting on him like I was stomping him out and they're like just leave Corey, like you're out of here, you're good, and they talked to the chick and like it was just bad. The chick, I don't even know what happened to the baby, but like I tried to do the best I could, like you know what I'm saying. And then in the Central District, yeah, the Seattle Police Department. Shout out to, let's see what else, please. Um Man, what other police department areas? Washington State Patrol. Oh, King County Sheriff, bro. I trust the King County Sheriff like a motherfucker. And then like the Snohomish County, like all the police who be like doing their thing out there and like following the law. Like I think it's time for everybody to get on like Jeffrey Epstein or Bill Gates or however you want to do that. Like get on that guy. Get on Brian. Get on Zabi Salim. Get on Boko Haram. Um, I wish everybody a good day who's listening to this. And if I didn't mention your name or I missed a credit or something on Operation Pineapple Express, apologize. Um, let's just do this thing. All right, our future goals. Damn, I didn't even say or like exactly what we want to do. Our future goals, for sure, are to lock every single city down from cartel members, and it's not gonna be like straight up martial law, but like it's gonna be like we're gonna have to interject. Like so many people are missing from city governments and replaced with people who like wear their stolen uniform or stolen ID. Like I mean judges and like people in the clerks and like not so much. I mean I trust the clerks in King County actually, but like judges and like cops and stuff. Sometimes cops and judges get kidnapped and somebody like replaces them and like they bright strike people into thinking like that's the dude and like it's crazy. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like that's the Matrix shit. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to P Protein. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like really on some weird Matrix shit. Um, let's see. Clean everybody's system. Like ID check every single military person in the United States. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Mandatory checks. You know what I'm saying? Load everybody up who passes the check from the armory, and you know what I'm saying? And they check more people. You know what I'm saying? And as it goes, we harm people up and take out the people that don't. Like kill like you know what I'm saying? No questions asked people who have stolen IDs because those people are likely trafficking victims or dead whose ID they stole. And so check all the military people, check all the federal agents, start with the federal government and top down. And then because we don't want to be checking like local, state, and city governments with federal agents if our federal agents aren't checked. And so we got to check ourselves first. And then once you check our once you always whenever you check somebody, and I mean even in the streets, like when you check somebody, make sure you check yourself first because that's why they say check yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like check what you're ready and capable to do. Like you gotta look at yourself like what can I really do right now before I check somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's what I mean. Like what we're really capable of doing. Like we need to be like have ID and shit. And so that's what I mean. Check ourselves. And so do that and then check once that is done at the federal government, then go to the state government, check like the state patrols and like the state government and state senator's office and the state like governor and like you know what I'm saying, and like all like the uh you know um the lieutenant governor, like you know what I'm saying, like like the federal prosecutors and like the uh all everybody who's like at attorney general, like everybody like at every level, and check their offices and make sure their assistants aren't somebody who's like forcing them to do stuff or like threatening them or like being acting funny or like acting strange, and then like go from there to the county level and then like check like the counties and like making sure like they're all good and stuff, and like they're being healthy and stuff, and check the city level and stuff, and then like at that point like we'll have like a solution for homelessness even, like because that's like a lot of check in. And so, something I learned today from Jonathan Ishii is if you're gonna come up with a 10-year plan, you also gotta have a 5-year plan and a 1-year plan, because if you have that 10-year plan, how are you gonna get there? Like, how are you gonna make those 10-year goals happen if you don't do something within the next year to start something that you can do 5 years from now that you can flip, or do some more to get to the 10-year goal? Like, how are you gonna like get your on a curve where you see like the acceleration, you know what I'm saying? Like as it goes up, how are you gonna get your acceleration for this year to get your 5-year on, to get your 10-year on? You know what I'm saying? Like, so like we have like to have these plans, and that's like our plans is like the federal government, the state government, the county government, the city government, and then work on the streets and shit. And then make sure everybody has IDs is so critical to that. And then like the U.S. military forces, like I'm working on some kind of like a shoulder strap. Like you never know how like good like a shoulder like harness strap for a firearm is until you wear one. But like having one like that, we can also have like your CAT card is gonna be on your chest, like in like part of the shoulder holster. So when I look at you and I want to see like who you are, I want to ask you CAT card. Like I don't want you to like have time to like pull something else out of your pockets. I want that shit on your shoulder, and I want to be able to look at it and look at you and like respect you and shit for what you've done and shit. And so that's gonna be a mandatory thing that we're gonna do. Uh, Man, let's see, what other plans do we have for the local police department. Don't be afraid to check motherfuckers and shit. Even for every level of government, for the county, for the state, for the federal, just check a motherfucker who works in your department if you're acting funny. If he acts something, says something out of line, check his fucking ID, even if you checked it before, like just because, like just to make sure, like you're checking IDs, just to get used to it, just to make it the thing where like people check your ID for acting stupid, like you know what I'm saying? That's a new thing. If you know what I'm saying, you want to be cool and shit, like I put this on the mixtape sites, like a hot mixtape sites, like that Piff, and like these mixtape sites and like SoundCloud. I put these on, and like you know what I'm saying, like all the mixtape legends and shit, and all like the you know what I'm saying, like the mixtapes, like Sumarais and Samurais and whatever, like these places that might not even exist, you know what I'm saying, yet. Like I put that shit on this motherfucker and shit. And so uh y'all can have, you know what I'm saying, if you want to be cool, like mixtape sites are about being cool, the coolest mixtape. You want to be cool, like check your fucking partner's ID and shit. Make sure that like if it's a new guy, like is acting funny, like, or even if he's not acting funny, like if you meet a new guy and it's like your new partner, or you haven't worked with a guy before, check his ID first thing you see. Like make that a thing. Make that like fucking like washing your hands and using masks and shit, like during COVID at least. Like in the future, hopefully, wear a mask all the time because people are like eat their turmeric and like eat their zinc and like eat their like you know what I'm saying niacin, and like basically like you know what I'm saying, like keep their body pH like alkaline and super high, and like you know what I'm saying, like drink their like colloidal silver, and like you know what I'm saying, use their menthol, you know what I'm saying, Bengay when they're around like dangerous areas where spider crabs be, or like you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, like use their lozenges correctly, and like we'll just beat like these COVID spiders to death. You know what I'm saying? We'll just be in super high pH, and they'll just back up, and like we'll like figure this out with like Starfleet homies and shit. Shout out to Harborview Hospital in Seattle, Harborview Medical Center. Just like this the Boeing purchase from Stan Deal. They were going through hard times during COVID. They didn't know what to do, but the spiders running around and shit, and all like the shit that comes from that. And shout out to everybody who's seen Gundam News Unrated, Unredacted. Like it seemed like they tried to disappear that from me. Um, Basically, we bought it for hella cheap. It wasn't even cheap, but it was like a fair deal. Starfleet and the homies and shit, like Space Forces and shit, as part of the Space Forces thing. We bought that shit, and we replaced it with like all the technology where they like used to like nurse people, like try to nurse people back to health. We replaced it with like our like regrowth like technology, which basically like takes like a like somehow some way, just believe it, we got the technology to scan the entire crystal lattice structure of your entire body, of every single molecule and like lattice structure, which is like all the alkenes and like all the shit to make up your blood, and the organic chemistry that makes up your blood veins and cell walls and stuff. We can get it down to like a printable template. And so like something for like hemoglobin and something for like a bone calcium, the image for that particular part of the lattice structure, it vibrates at a different frequency. and the frequency that's broadcasted for the calcium like printout or the bone structure resonates at a sound that will attract specifically calcium like molecules, and the other one attracts specifically the type of molecules that will create like the hemoglobin or like the cell walls or like the tissue, which is like the like collagen, or like the brain structure, which is like the gray matter, which like creates like like the exothermic combustion reactions that power our nerves. And you know what I'm saying? Like we print that out, and then what we do is we put that hologram into like a space or a substance, and then we inject those different minerals that we are just talking about. And like pea protein, what pea protein does is it breaks down into anything, like any organic like thing, and like milk thistle, and like there's some other random shit that is like organic that we can get, and like we put it in like to like a thing, and it puts out the molecules that we need by like breaking it down and like using electricity to like pull out like different like molecules or protons even, or like you like the neutrons or like whatever, and like rearranging them using electricity. Like if you want to bust out a proton from something, all you have to do is hit it with the exact frequency that would resonate with something which is the size and weight of the thing. Like if you learn like in physics, like how like certain tubes will resonate better than other tubes, and you have to get the frequency exactly the right way to match the hops in the tube or the nodes in the tube. Every molecule has a certain amount of nodes that you need to resonate on to like bump that thing to get it to vibrate, like resonate. And so all we have to do is come up with sound, like codes of sound, like boop, 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 like literally like that, but a lot faster, and it'll knock those things off, and we can rearrange molecules and like come up with new ones. And then to get it back, or to get into a couple of different protons, you vibrate the frequency that is enough to like bring back like two protons instead of one to make it something else. And so it's crazy. Like everything resonates on a different frequency, and if you know the frequency of of two carbons, or like any chain of things, if you know exactly what that frequency is, you can vibrate that frequency and build that frequency with free protons and neutrons. It's crazy as fuck. Like, and so like we just print things and we inject it, and then those molecules bind to the hologram, and then once we rebuild the person and all those things, and we like whatever we print out, we took on their dendrites, which is their memories, which stores people's memories. We put that back in, which is the hardest part, and then we make sure like their axons and everything are all healthy and their brains all healthy, which is like a lot of brain defects come from like the axons being damaged, and they might keep their dendrites. And so we print all that out of their brain, and then we electrocute the shit out of people using like electricity to make all the electrons, the shared electrons. Once you zap it, that's what makes the electrons like spin enough to like do the shared electron bonds to actually create the lattice structure in a bonded way. Because before you shock it, the lattice structure is not actually bound. It's just it's like an epoxy before it dries and hardens. It'll be in the shape that it needs to be in, but it's not hardened yet because the bonds aren't shared by the electrons. And so we electrocute the person, and all their bonds and the structure becomes the actual structure, and then they're printed, and then you know what I'm saying, we get them to a clean place and get some clothes on them, and like we like when we rebuild people, we like in their fat, in people's fat, when you're printing fat, you can put like turmeric in it, or you can put like niacin, or like extra like zinc, or extra like stuff that they should be high in their blood, in their body. You can put it in their weight, and then like spiders, crabs, and like diseases won't want to come near them because they have like turmeric or nutmeg or whatever like you want to put in their fat. And then they have like in their bones and all their other stuff, they have their high pH like stuff, so you can like build people like the way you need to build them and be successful. And so Harbor View has the ability to do that now undercover, and when people go in to get rebuilt, they're out in like that day or the next day, versus being there for 6 months to a year until you die. These people are rebuilding people. And we just bought it was like New York like financial investments or like something. They had a hospital and they built it, and they weren't making a lot of money because of COVID, and they sold it for just above what they paid to get into it. So they got a profit, and we got a profit because they built it for us for a fair deal. And so we bought that one. We're doing that in New York. And so that's how that works. Shout out to Starfleet again. My next mixtape has got to be Starfleet. Then I'll just make it Starfleet and boot it in suit and go. You know what I'm saying? Because all the stuff I'm talking about, people might not get it until I explain that. But people, it's gonna be hard. You know, people, if you're Romulan or from Andromeda or from like, you know what I'm saying, Cerule or Saya or like Krypton or any of these places, like this planet right now, this is Osina. And so it moved over here to the Milky Way galaxy like on some hut shit, like to kidnap our planet from like you know what I'm saying, the Lyran constellation, which is in Vega, the Vega star and shit, like in Saturn and Jupiter and shit. They're all like some hut, like Ukul motherfuckers. Like Ukul or the hut. Let me tell you that the Ukul, the UCL or the Ukul, like the little octopus aliens, them niggas is the hut, and so they got us over here. Like we got to get the fish. Like Earth is a fish, like on the hood. I don't know how like that relates to Operation Pineapple Express, but Earth is a fish, and we're in a giant ocean, and like we're not supposed to be bacteria like this. Like we like it's like on some Honey I Shrunk the Kids shit, and I don't even know if I should put that in here, but we landed in you know what I'm saying, in Afghanistan and B-2 stealth bombers that went into space and took an hour and 43 minutes to get across the globe. And so, like, you know what I'm saying, like, no, there's more space shit than that. And Space Force is real. We didn't start it because, like, for no reason. Like, the government didn't start the Air Force because, like, planes were, like, fake or planes were made up. They started the Air Force so we could fly, like, fighter jets and Raptors and shit around. Like, and so there's no, the Space Forces was created so we could, like, do, like, that and the third and this, that, and the other thing, like John F. Kennedy said. Rest in peace to like all the people who died getting here, and for me to make this mixtape is glorious. Um, on that note, U.S. forces. If you got blown off legs and limbs and shit, and I see you, I think about like the technology. That's why I bought this place, Harborview, in New York, the Financial Investments Hospital. And so, go to these places. The New York thing is new. We'll be ready soon, but right now the harbor view, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell them what it is. If you got like the spider crabs and shit, like the Pygnogonida, which is what they are, which we are tritium from, and shit, like with the U.S. Navy and shit. Like, just nobody talks about it. If you got those, they'll rebuild you. Like they like rebuild you. Like if you got some kind of, if you got raped or some kind of shit happened, like you know what I'm saying? Like you broke some shit, you crashed some shit, your skull is injured. Like the brain injury is hard because if we're taking images of your brain, if you're missing shit, then it's hard to reprint that. But we do our best, we can, you know what I'm saying? And so just know that we're like doing the very best we can. But like as far as like you know what I'm saying, you blow your shit off in Iraq or like some shit, like come to us and like we'll fix you up. It's like less than it's like $20,000 they charge people and insurance covers it right now because like we're in with the government and shit. And so like people who know about like Dr. Scott and the shit they do, hella weird. Like they like really like mulch people down into like fucking like destroy people and like kill people and like fuck people up, trying to use like the shit that we gave them for like the Seahawks from the NFL, like because they knew he knew Coach Pete Carroll, and you know what I'm saying, real like his one of his direct people, and so we gave him some shit for the NFL and gave some other cities some shit, St. Louis and shit, and like he like abuses it and like helps like people who are like Scotiabank and shit, and so like we bought Harborview and now we're helping everybody for like he charges like $50,000 and he like does horrible shit to people to like he doesn't use pea protein. That's all I'm saying. Like it's like some real shit. And then we gave it to Swedish Medical Center. We gave the technology to it, but I don't know if they used it. I'm pretty sure they did. I'm pretty sure they do. I take my kid there, and so I trust them. I feel like my grandma used to took me there, so I like trust them. If I'm wrong for trusting them, then if something happens and say that shit, then um shit. And this is in Seattle, Washington. I'm talking about. If you're not from here, you might not understand what I'm talking about. Um, Thank you for everybody at the Pentagon who I've been sending, you know what I'm saying, communications to for receiving that shit and like, you know what I'm saying, not like hating or like player hating or anything, you know what I'm saying. God bless you. Um, Go America, go World, go Starfleet, go Romulu, go Remule, go Andromeda, go to the table. All my animals getting it in out here, trying to do the best for the environment. Shout out to electricity and transfer electricity versus getting it from spider crabs. I'm about to drop the elite shit every single day. You guys are gonna hear me. Just consider this my radio show. Um, Shout out to the banned words list. All right, I'm out.